Okay, so picture this. You're on a road trip, just cruising down an endless highway. Statistically, you'd expect to see other cars, right? Maybe even like a whole caravan, all heading to the same destination. But what if you drove for hours, days, even weeks, and never encountered another vehicle? That's kind of the eerie feeling we get when we consider the Fermi paradox. We look out into this vast universe teeming with billions upon billions of stars and planets, yet we haven't found a single shred of concrete evidence that we're not alone. So where is everyone? Welcome to Cosmos in a Pod Space and Astronomy series.
Hmm. It's a question that has haunted astronomers, physicists, philosophers for decades. It's like we've stumbled upon a cosmic ghost town, a universe seemingly ripe with the potential for life, but strangely devoid of any detectable neighbors.
Yeah, it's a real head scratcher, isn't it? I mean, we've all heard about the Drake equation, right? Which attempts to estimate the number of civilizations out there capable of communicating with us. And even if we use the most conservative estimates, the numbers still suggest there should be at least a few cosmic buddies out there sending out signals.
Yeah, the Drake equation is a fascinating thought experiment for sure, but it relies on a lot of assumptions that we're still grappling with. For example, what are the actual odds of life arising on a habitable planet? And then what's the likelihood of that life evolving into something intelligent enough to build radio telescopes or spaceships?
Right. There are so many unknowns. But even with all the uncertainties, the sheer scale of the universe makes the silence feel even more deafening. So let's dive into some of the possible explanations that scientists have come up with to try and solve this cosmic riddle. One possibility is that we are, in fact, utterly alone in the universe. Maybe Earth is some kind of cosmic lottery winner, a 1 in a trillion chance occurrence, where all the right ingredients for life just happen to collide at the perfect moment.
Yeah, the rare Earth hypothesis, as it's sometimes called, is certainly a humbling thought. It would mean that conditions required for life, let alone intelligent life, are so incredibly specific that we might be the only example in the entire observable universe. It would make humanity the sole custodian of consciousness, which is both an exhilarating and terrifying prospect.
It's a heavy burden to bear, for sure. But what if life isn't as rare as we think? Maybe it pops up all over the place, but there's some kind of cosmic bottleneck that prevents most civilizations from reaching a level of technological sophistication, where they can shout their existence across the galaxy. Some scientists call this the Great Filter.
The great filter idea is fascinating and a bit unsettling. It suggests that there might be a critical hurdle that most civilizations simply can't overcome. It could be anything, from the difficulty of evolving complex cells to the tendency for intelligent species to self-destruct through war, environmental collapse,
Yeah.
or some unforeseen technological catastrophe.
It's almost like there's some kind of cosmic exam that most life forms fail, and we don't know if we've already passed it or if it's still looming somewhere in our future.
Exactly. And that uncertainty adds a whole new layer of complexity to our understanding of the Fermi paradox. It forces us to confront the fragility of our own civilization and to consider the possibility that technological advancement might not always be a good thing.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and explore another possibility that's always captured the imagination. What if they're out there, but they're intentionally avoiding us? Like, imagine a scenario where advanced alien civilizations have a kind of galactic prime directive of non-interference. Maybe they're observing us from afar, studying our development without making their presence known.
Ah, yes, the zoo hypothesis. It's a popular one. And it raises some intriguing questions. Are we being treated like a cosmic exhibit? A fascinating but primitive species to be observed and studied? And if so, who are these cosmic zookeepers? And what are their motivations?
It's a little unnerving, isn't it, to think we might be under the watchful eye of some advanced alien anthropologists, taking notes on our every move. Makes you wonder if we're ready to be let out of the cosmic enclosure, or if we're still considered too unpredictable, too dangerous to join the galactic community.
It certainly challenges our assumptions about our place in the universe, doesn't it? Maybe we're not the center of attention after all. Maybe we're just one small exhibit in a vast and ancient cosmic zoo. Makes you wonder, huh? But let's not forget about those who believe the evidence is already here, though not in the way we might expect.
You're talking about UFOs and alien abductions.
Yeah.
I have to admit, there's a part of me that finds those stories intriguing, even if the scientific evidence is, shall we say, a bit thin.
Yeah.
But what if we're just looking for the wrong signs? What if advanced civilizations are using communication technologies
Mm.
so sophisticated that we can't even perceive them?
Yeah, it's a possibility we can't dismiss. Think about it. Our own technology has advanced at an exponential rate in just the past century. Imagine a civilization 1 million years ahead of us. Their technology might be so advanced that it would appear indistinguishable from magic to us. Maybe their signals are all around us, but we simply lack the sensory or intellectual capacity to detect them.
It's like trying to explain the internet to a caveman. Right. They wouldn't even have the conceptual framework to grasp it. And now for a thought that's both fascinating and a bit terrifying. What if most civilizations reach a certain technological tipping point and then inevitably self-destruct?
The self-destruction hypothesis is a sobering reminder of our own capacity for conflict and short-sightedness. We've already come dangerously close to nuclear annihilation in our own history, and the challenges of climate change and artificial intelligence are only becoming more pressing. It's not hard to imagine a scenario where a civilization develops the technological means to destroy itself long before it figures out how to survive its own ingenuity.
Yeah, it's a bleak thought,
Mm.
but one we can't ignore. But maybe, just maybe, the reason we haven't encountered any alien civilizations is simply because of the mind-boggling vastness of space. I mean, even if they are out there, their signals or probes might simply not have reached us yet.
Yeah, the sheer scale of the universe is something that we humans struggle to comprehend. Even traveling at the speed of light, it would take thousands, even millions of years to reach the nearest galaxies. It's entirely possible that there are countless civilizations out there, but their sphere of influence simply hasn't intersected with our own yet.
It's like sending a message in a bottle across an ocean and hoping that someone, somewhere will eventually find it. And we haven't even considered the possibility that life might exist in forms that we can't even imagine. What if there are life forms out there based on silicon or ammonia, thriving in environments that we consider hostile?
We tend to define life based on our own limited experience. But the universe is full of surprises. It's entirely possible that there are forms of life out there that defy our current understanding of biology and chemistry. Life might be far more diverse and resilient than we currently realize.
It's mind-blowing to think about all the possibilities, and then just when you think it can't get any weirder, we have the simulation hypothesis. What if our entire universe is just a highly advanced computer simulation created by some super intelligent beings?
The simulation hypothesis is a fascinating thought experiment, even if it's impossible to prove or disprove. It forces us to question the nature of reality itself, and to consider the possibility that our perception of the universe might be limited by the parameters of the simulation we're in.
It's like something out of a science fiction movie. But it makes you wonder, doesn't it? So after exploring all these mind-bending possibilities, are we any closer to answering the Fermi paradox?
Honestly, we may never have a definitive answer, but the beauty of the Fermi paradox is that it's not really about finding aliens. It's about using the question of their absence to explore the deepest mysteries of the universe and to challenge our assumptions about our place in it.
I love that perspective. So shifting gears a bit, what are some of the current efforts underway to actively search for signs of extraterrestrial life? I know there's SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, which uses powerful radio telescopes to listen for artificial signals from other civilizations.
SETI is a classic example of how we're trying to eavesdrop on the cosmic conversation, hoping to pick up a whisper from a distant civilization. But it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. The universe is vast, and the signals we're looking for could be incredibly faint or obscured by cosmic noise.
It must be incredibly challenging to sift through all that data and identify a genuine signal from all the background noise. How do SETI researchers even begin to narrow down their search?
It's a monumental task, but SETI researchers are developing incredibly sophisticated algorithms and artificial intelligence systems to help them filter out the noise and identify patterns that might indicate an artificial origin.
That's fascinating. And what about the search for life closer to home? I know there are some exciting missions exploring our own solar system, like the Perseverance rover on Mars, which is looking for signs of ancient microbial life.
The search for life in our own solar system is incredibly exciting. Missions like Perseverance are paving the way for future explorations of places like Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, which is thought to have a vast subsurface ocean that could potentially harbor life.
These missions are incredibly ambitious. But what are the chances of actually finding conclusive evidence? What are the biggest challenges they face?
One of the biggest challenges is simply the difficulty of detecting signs of life, especially if it's microbial. We're talking about looking for subtle chemical signatures or fossilized evidence that might be billions of years old. It's like trying to piece together a puzzle with most of the pieces missing. But the rewards of finding even the simplest form of extraterrestrial life would be immense. It would revolutionize our understanding of biology and the origins of life itself.
It would be a paradigm shift,
Yeah.
for sure. And beyond our solar system, we have powerful telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope, studying exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars, looking for signs of life in their atmospheres.
Exoplanet research is another frontier in the search for life. We're using telescopes like the James Webb to analyze the light, passing through exoplanet atmospheres, looking for chemical fingerprints that might betray the presence of life. It's like playing cosmic detective, trying to decipher clues from light years away.
It sounds like we're casting a wide net, using every tool at our disposal to search for signs of life, both big and small, both near and far. And I've also heard about the search for technosignatures, evidence of advanced technologies that might betray the presence of alien civilizations.
Technosignatures are a fascinating area of research. We're looking for things like megastructures, hypothetical structures built by advanced civilizations to harness the energy of stars, or unusual patterns of energy emissions that might indicate advanced technologies at work.
So we're not just listening for whispers anymore. We're looking for signs of cosmic construction projects. It's incredible to think about the possibilities. But with all this searching, we're still left with some pretty big unanswered questions, aren't we?
Absolutely. The Fermi paradox isn't something we solve, it's something we grapple with, something that inspires us to keep asking questions and pushing the boundaries of our knowledge. For example, we still don't know the true odds of life developing on a habitable planet. Is it a common occurrence? Or is Earth a rare exception?
And if the Great Filter exists, have we already passed it? Or is it lurking somewhere in our future, threatening to wipe us out before we reach our full potential? These are questions that keep me up at night. And then there's the question of how we should respond if we do detect a signal from an alien civilization. Like, do we broadcast back? Do we try to make contact? Or do we stay silent and observe from a distance? It's a huge responsibility,
Yeah.
and there's no easy answer.
Yeah. It's a decision that would have profound implications for humanity, and it's one that we need to be thinking about carefully.
Right.
Contact with an advanced alien civilization could be the greatest event in human history, or it could be our undoing. We just don't know.
Yeah, it's both exhilarating and terrifying to think about. But regardless of whether we ever find definitive proof of alien life, the Fermi paradox has already had a profound impact on our understanding of the universe and our place in it.
It's forced us to confront our cosmic loneliness, to contemplate the fragility of our own civilization, and to appreciate the sheer wonder and mystery of the cosmos. It's a reminder that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, a vast and ancient universe that we're only beginning to explore.
It's a humbling experience, to say the least. It makes you realize just how much we still don't know and how much there is left to discover. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Fermi paradox, what's the one takeaway you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I'd say this: never stop questioning, never stop exploring, and never lose your sense of wonder. The universe is full of mysteries, and the search for answers, even if they're elusive, is what makes life truly extraordinary.
Beautifully put. The search for extraterrestrial life is ultimately a search for ourselves, for our place in the grand scheme of things. It's a journey that challenges our assumptions, expands our horizons, and reminds us of the boundless possibilities that lie beyond our little blue planet.
And who knows, maybe someday that search will lead us to a profound encounter, a moment that changes our understanding of the universe and our place in it forever.
That's a thought that sends chills down my spine, in the best way possible. So for all of you fellow cosmic explorers out there, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and never stop believing in the wonders that might be waiting out there in the vast expanse of the universe.
And if you want to continue exploring the mysteries of space and astronomy with us, be sure to follow and subscribe to Cosmos in a Pod. We've got more deep dives coming your way, covering everything from black holes to the search for dark matter.
And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel for even more cosmic content, including stunning visuals, expert interviews, and behind-the-scenes glimpses into the world of space exploration. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those imaginations soaring.
Clear skies.